Hi everyone, welcome back. I am Antoinette Engelke from Soaring to Source. So another fun week of training here, and yes, I'm still in warm Florida. So nice to be here. Uh, so today we're going to be talking about stew, but not the kind that you eat. We're going to be talking about stewing on your thoughts and your feelings, and just a little bit about that. So let's go ahead and get going. So have you ever stewed, when you've had an argument and you just continue thinking about it and you're going down rabbit holes, and you just can't kind of move through it. So that's what we're talking about. And HeartMath actually has a recording of someone that was on a monitor. And this person didn't know any heart math techniques. And what had happened was he got into an argument with his wife. They were sitting in the car, and he got into an argument with his wife. And you see where his heart rate was sitting, around 60 some beats per minute. And it shot way up during the argument. But then what was really interesting is that when after the argument it came down, it never came back down to the 60. It was probably hovering like around 70 or more, and it hovered there for a long time. And that's the stewing that was going on well after the argument. So this is very unhealthy for you to be doing this. And the heart math techniques are techniques that can bring you out of that area. And so where we talked about this, I think it was in heart rate variability in that training where I showed you what a coherent heart rate looks like. And a non-coherent one. So the non-coherent is very spiky, and the coherent is, very nice even slopes. And when you're coherent, what's going on? Just to repeat, because this is very important, what is going on is both sides of your brain are firing, and then also your brain is talking coherently with your heart. And this is when you won't. This is when you would be able to come up with solutions. So when you're stewing and you've got that really erratic and you're not coherent, well, you're not problem solving. You're not able to come up with a problem because of, or sorry, you've already had the problem, but you're not able to come up with the solution to that problem or to that argument because of the incoherence that is going on. So, there was a report that was published from a journal that's called Emotions, and they tracked 157 undergraduate students. And what they did, these students were journaling, and what was noticed out of the study is when they had a time where they had an argument or a problem or whatever had happened, and they were stewing over it, and they were significantly stewing over it, then the journal for these students was, pretty much their day was pretty much ruined. Everything was a big deal, and nothing was going right for them. Their mood was completely low mood. As compared to when you could tell that they had some kind of an argument or something going on, and they didn't stew over it at all. They not only got over it quicker and improved their mood, but if any other stressors came their way, they were able to deal with it and actually not just able to deal with it, and the day didn't go as poorly. So that was a very interesting study. So the other thing that is happening that people don't realize is that after 90 seconds of an argument, and the 90 seconds is how long the chemical is actually staying in your body. But what is going on is a lot of times our bodies are addicted to the emotions that we probably don't want them addicted to. And so that stewing ends up enabling those negative chemicals to continue being in our body. And that's probably one reason why we do stew, is because some people actually like those chemicals that are flowing at that time. So the best way to get over stewing is going to be the heart math techniques, and also mindfulness training and some meditation. So, but if you don't have these strategies readily available, then here are some tips that you can use to help you out. first you need to acknowledge that you're dwelling on something, acknowledge that you're stewing over something. Once you recognize that, that's always the first step. But then you need to make a decision to actually stop the stewing. And that could be hard if your body is addicted to those chemicals. But making the decision is quite important, because you can't get over it unless you've made that decision. So once you've made the decision, a HeartMath technique will literally only take you 3 minutes probably to get yourself out of that stewing. Depending upon how bad the argument was, it's not going to take very long to get you out of that mode and get you into a more positive frame of mind and frame of heart. But if you don't have any HeartMath techniques in your tool belt, then you're gonna want to do some kind of deep breathing technique. You can look those up online. Maybe yoga pose, something that's going to help calm down the feelings and calm down the heart. So the next thing that once that's been calmed down, you need to stop the rabbit hole of thoughts that are happening around it, because it's just a cycle that's going on. The thought, the feeling, the thought. It's just going around in a circle here. So one way that you can stop, if you don't know any mindfulness techniques or meditation techniques, then you can vent with a friend, but venting can actually lead to more stewing, especially, so if you're venting, make sure your friend knows that you're just venting and that you're not wanting any advice. But again, that's not really getting you out of it, but it might be getting the power out of what happened, because there is a lot of power around those negative feelings, and so getting that power out of you is probably a good idea. So if the venting didn't work with a friend, then you do want to find a friend that isn't going to mimic your behavior. So make sure, we talked about mimicking, and make sure that you know which friends are really good at that, so that they could stay at the higher platform and they could give you the problem solving advice that you actually need, that you can't see at the lower platform. And then hopefully they can help you start critically thinking through what is going on. So now, if you still can't get out of your head after talking to a friend or two, then you're going to need to journal. And journaling about your feelings, about the behavior that happened, and the thoughts that are going through your mind. Don't worry about anybody seeing your journal. You can always burn it. If you are concerned about it, get it out, write it down. And if you are concerned that someone can see it, rip it out of the journal and burn it. Or do it on a separate piece of paper that's not in a journal book. But don't burn anything down while you're doing it. Maybe rip it up, maybe shred it, something to kind of get rid of it. And that could be kind of like a little ceremony type thing to finally get rid of it and get rid of your thoughts that are around it. So the other thing to do, especially if this is someone that's really important to you, that you have a relationship with, and you need to or have to or want to continue that relationship, then one good thing to do is to actually look at it from their perspective. And this is really, really hard. So you want to kind of say, okay, what was possibly going on with them? Why would they have behaved this way? Why would they have said what they said? What do you think they were feeling? And this is just to help you possibly get a different perspective. Like I said earlier, it's not that you're going to communicate this to somebody, because you obviously have no idea what was going on with the other person. So this is just to help you. Help you out to maybe, with this different perspective, you can, have some empathy around them. Because if you really want to hold on to this relationship, then you are going to at some point need to talk about it. You don't want to push it under the carpet, because you keep pushing things under the carpet. There's a big elephant in the room that's going to suddenly rear up on you. So So again, don't assume, let's see, where was I? I really went far. Oh my gosh, all on my own. Look at that. Talking to a friend. Okay, here's the hard part. Okay. So So yeah, that's the hard part. Now you do, and the other thing is that you don't want this to turn into a grudge. A grudge is actually something that's beyond stewing, and that actually does a lot more damage to not only yourself but to any relationship that you have. So wait until you're more coherent before you have a conversation with this person. Coherent, again, meaning that you're not having that rapid heart rate around it, that you're having more positive emotions, even if it's just a calm emotion, calm feeling, a neutral feeling. It's not that, anger and fear, shame, pain. You're not at that extreme. Wait until you're more centered, and wait until you're not having all of those rabbit hole thoughts. You really need to make sure that you're coherent. And when you're talking to the person, don't point your finger. Don't, say things like you did this and you did that. What you want to do is point out the behavior that they had that made you feel a certain way. So when you did this, I felt this way. Bring it back onto yourself. That way they don't feel like they're being attacked. So that's a really important thing to do. If you feel like you're getting more emotional, then if you don't have a HeartMath technique, you won't be able to calm yourself down right on the spot. You might need to say, you know what, I'm concerned. I'm going to say something I don't want to. I feel my heart racing again. I need to take a 5-minute break, or, I need to take a 10-minute break. Don't take too long of a break. Try and calm yourself down with whatever breathing techniques you have. If you've got a yoga pose, do a yoga pose. Do something to help yourself out to bring yourself back into a position where you can continue the conversation. So I hope this training helped you on stewing. And let's see, next week is going to be talking about grudges. So we will talk about that. But if you do want to learn how to quickly, get out of that stewing mode, then, click on the link and schedule a call with me, and we can talk about how the HeartMath and the mindfulness and meditation techniques can help you. All right. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, and we will